So Nottingham Forest had put £100 million price tag on their 25-year-old English midfielder Morgan Gibbs-White. And as you can see, this tweet was dated the 12th of the 4th, 2025. Obviously, in the lead up to the transfer window and at the start of the transfer window itself, Manchester City were heavily linked with paying this £100 million price tag for Gibbs-White, but then decided to opt against that and go and signed Ryan Shirchi from Lyon for around £25 million. And when I first saw this, I was like, if Man City aren't going to pay £100 million for Morgan Gibbs-White, is there really any club that's willing to do that? Because Man City are one of two clubs that have spent £100 million on an English player, and we saw how that turned out last time. So I can't imagine, or I couldn't imagine, any team was really willing to pay that much to get Gibbs-White's signature. And then, bam, it was reported yesterday that Spurs would sign Morgan Gibbs-White for 60 million, triggering his release clause. A release clause I didn't actually know about personally. It might have been there the whole time. It probably was there the whole time, but I just didn't realize, right? So 60 million pounds for Spurs to get their hands on Gibbs-White, which I think is a very, very good signing for them, especially with them signing Kudus as well. I think they're having a very, very good window. But of course, I'm going to cover this from the City perspective and not the Spurs perspective. And of course, originally, I was very much against signing Gibbs-White. I thought that we had to go get Shirchi. He'd obviously cost less. There would be less pressure on his shoulders because he's not a high-profile English player going for a lot of money. Obviously, again, drawing the Grealish comparison and the Calvin Phillips comparison. But since we got our hands on Shirchi and seeing that we could have potentially got Gibbs-White for 60 million, to have them both in the squad to improve an aging midfield that still has blatant issues in it, especially if we are selling James McAtee as well. So, I think it's a no-brainer that we should have definitely went out there and signed Gibbs-White, especially seeing as it was being reported that we had agreed personal terms with him just before it was announced that he signed for Spurs. But I don't know. Let me know down in the comments if you think Man City really did miss out by not signing Gibbs-White and it's a missed opportunity, or if you think that they dodged a bullet and it's good that Spurs went and signed him.